Previously on Project Reborn. A new journey started, a journey to be reborn. We performed our very first tests, on the pitch and in the gym, to get a gauge of where we're at and help guide us into the future. We then got back out on the pitch and we had our very first touches of the ball. After a long planning process, I was so excited to finally start this new project. Today, the project continues, which means more training, more football, more gym, but I will also reveal how I set my goals. Day 5 of Project Reborn. We're here at the pitch again. We're going to have a group session with I think 6 players will come. So we're going to be able to do some really fun and creative exercises. I've come up with some exercises prior to the session, depending on what type of players we have. But we'll see what we'll do. But I think it's going to be a really fun one. And you don't want to miss it. So we started off with some triangle passing, just go in one direction, receive the ball around the cone and then pass it on, and then we did that in both directions with both feet. Then we moved on to a variation of that where we play a short 1-2, you face the ball, you get it, you back out and then you get it again, and then you do this pattern in both directions as well. Then we did another variation, which is the third man. You have 2 jobs here. You either set the ball back for someone to play a longer ball, or you play the long ball yourself. And then we extended the warm-up, just hit some longer passes, just to get a feel for the ball and to get some more touches on the ball with some more intense movements before moving on to the next part of the training.
Man har boll där upp, man möter tillbaka och sen när man är lite passiv går in eller ut.
Then we moved on to this 1v1 finishing exercise. The 1v1 was really passive. We just wanted to have something in the way, but we were not very active with our defensive play. Just pass the ball, get it back, cut it inside or outside. We cut mostly to the inside in this one because all of us are right-footed. For the far post or the first post. Then we moved on to another variation. This was more central. Here you face the ball, you play back, and then you either back out to one of the sides and then take your shot, or you just turn as Elias does here and then have a finish. So you can be creative, you can do a little bit of what you want, but you start from a central position in this one instead. And then we moved over to the right side where we did the same pattern as we did centrally. So you play the ball, and you get it back, and then you either go to the outside or the inside on the turn. You can be creative here. And then we moved over to some crossing and finishing. So we played a couple of passes centrally, the 3 of us, and then we played the ball out to a winger on the side who crossed the ball into the box to 2 guys, one on the first post, one on the second, and one for the cutback. We had 4 crosses each. Then we switch over to the left side, and here I took 2 rounds, so I did 8 crosses. I mostly play on the left, and I almost feel even more comfortable crossing with my left foot for some reason, but I really wanted to get some reps in on the left as well. Then after the crossing and finishing, we did a transition drill where you play the ball up as a defender, then you get up, and then you play 2v2 against the goal. And we agreed that we had to score between the orange cones and the post, otherwise it wouldn't count as a goal, it would be too easy. So as you can see here, taking them on, and I just about get it inside the orange cone, which means you stay on. Then we did kind of the same thing, but in a 1v1 scenario instead. You play the ball to the defender, you get it back, you attack in 1v1, and then you go for a finish on goal. And then heading into day 6 and 7, I took a short break for a couple of days just to let my body rest up a bit and let my mind rest for a bit as well. A lot of you have asked about how I train in the gym as a footballer, and this will be the first real gym session of Project Reborn. The focus is still on just getting back, but I thought I'd show you what I did. So for the warm-up, I most often like to start off with some biking. So I went for 5 minutes, 1.3 miles. Then I did some foam rolling to loosen up my muscles, and then I do some things with a stick for the upper body in particular, because this was an upper body session. Then I moved on to the bench press here. I did 2 warm-up sets. The first one was just with the bar, so 20 kilos, 15 repetitions. Tried different tempos, different intensities. Then I went for 8 reps of 40 kilos. Same here, try to go for some slower reps, some quicker reps before moving here into the first set. And this was with 60 kilograms, and I aimed for around 8 to 12 reps. So not too high of a weight, but I really try to push it. The RPE, the rate of perceived exertion, was really high. I put it at a 9 to a 10, which means I go all out and do as many reps as I can. So I did 10 reps in the first set, I did 8 reps in the second, and then I only mustered 6 reps in the final and third set. Then I moved on to the single arm dumbbell shoulder press, and this is a unilateral exercise, which means you work only one side at a time, and this puts more stress on your stability and your balance. And then I went for 2 sets of dips, and here I just tried to perform as many reps as I could. In the first set I did 15 reps, and the second I did 10. And then I finished off by supersetting some push-ups with a plank. I only did 1 set of this, and then I was done. So in the first episode of Project Reborn, I announced that I will be answering one or a couple of questions within each episode. And to be able to get your question answered, all you had to do was put your question in the comments and use the hashtag REBORN. And that way you'll be able to be featured in one of these videos. And we're going to start with a question that I believe is very relevant in this phase that I'm at in this project. And that question is from Isaac Soltveit 330. He asks, could you show your goals in detail, like what do you want to improve physically, technically, etc. and how are you going to tackle them? Hashtag Reborn. So heading into Project Reborn, I knew that I have to set some goals to keep myself accountable and to have something to strive towards. I always believe for everyone that setting goals is a really important step when you want to go somewhere. I have been setting goals for, I don't know, the past 10 years, and I have learned some things along the way that didn't work for me when setting goals, because setting goals is gonna be different for everyone. You should really find a way that you feel comfortable with setting goals and that you feel help you in the best possible way. But heading into Project Reborn, I felt like it was even more important to have clear goals and some type of map to guide me in this process. That's why I wanted to set some clear goals that would keep my motivation high and to act as a compass to guide me along this project and this process. So when setting goals, the number one thing you should do is analyze your current situation in as much detail as possible. So how do you do that? Well, I usually break it down in technical goals, physical goals, tactical goals, and mental goals, because those 4 are the key pillars of football. And then what you can also put in there is like your lifestyle goals, and that includes your nutrition, your sleep, your recovery, and all the things that are unrelated to what you do on the pitch directly. So in terms of my own goals, in terms of technical aspects, I just want to keep developing all areas of the game. There's not a particular area that I want to improve more than another. I want to keep honing in on my strengths, so that is my dribbling, 1v1, finishing, crossing. Like as a winger, those are the most important technical attributes that I have in my game and that I base my game on. So I really want to hone in on those to come out on the other side of this project, you know, really sharp, razor sharp in those attributes particularly, but across the board, technically, I really want to, you know, develop in all areas of the game. So in terms of that, I want to put up a plan, a technical plan, where I will develop in all technical aspects of the game. In terms of the physical side, I really want to rehab my problem areas. You know, I pulled my hamstring this past season. This is something that I really want to strengthen and build up, so I really get rid of that problem. I also have some other problem areas with my groins, hips, sometimes my right knee, so I really want to address those issues. Build up a good amount of strength, so when I'm done with this project, that I'm in a really good place physically, that I don't have to battle with these injuries on, you know, on a consistent basis. I also want to gain some weight. I want to gain some muscle, because I have lost a pretty large amount of muscle mass in the last couple of years. At my peak, I was up at 78 kilograms. And right now I'm at 73, 74. I really want to push it and try to hit 80 kilos. I don't want to obsess over hitting a certain number and gaining a certain amount of muscle mass, but over the long term I want to, you know, consume a caloric surplus, which means I eat more calories than I burn on a given day, and over the long term this will make me gain weight. But it's not my primary objective, but over the long term this is definitely something I I think I need, and I want to get back to, you know, those levels that I were at before and maybe a bit higher. And in terms of the tactical and the mental aspect of the game, there is one area of improvement that I've identified and have thought of over the last couple of years that I really want to improve, and that is my awareness and my vision, and as a result also my decision making. I believe my decision making is good. I often opt for the most aggressive option possible, and you want to be direct, you want to be aggressive, especially as an offensive player, to create stuff, create opportunities, create chances. But my awareness and my vision is lacking a bit, so I don't take the best decisions on as a consistent basis as higher level players does. So this is something I really want to improve, and I will show you exactly how I intend to improve this, because without a team it can be really difficult to, you know, improve my awareness and my vision. But I have some plans in mind, and I will show you these over the course of this project, and in the next couple of videos especially. I will show you what my plans are and how I actually will try to improve in this area of the game. If you want to set your own goals, the first step is really to analyze your own situation and put that into context. Look at different areas of the game: technical, tactical, physical, mental. You could look at lifestyle, you could look at your sleep, your nutrition, your recovery, and then try to find out where you can make the biggest improvement. The second step is to craft some type of plan, some type of schedule to keep you accountable, to keep you on track. And the third step is really to just take action, to be as consistent as possible, to get out on the pitch as often as possible, to get to the gym, to do your active recovery, to start to eat better, or whatever it is that you want to improve and that you feel that you need to improve. So it's not really that difficult. Setting goals is almost the easy part, because it doesn't require much energy from you other than you sitting down, maybe have a think for a couple of hours, analyze your situation. But then it's, you know, about achieving these goals. It's about going to the pitch, going to the gym, and doing that consistently for a long period of time. That's what will bring you the results and get you closer and closer towards your goals. And then the last thing I want to say when it comes to goals is that goals should not be set in stone. Goals can change along the way, so keep in mind that goals can always be subject to change in both directions, depending on how you progress and what happens during the course of, you know, whatever you do. And in my situation, it's Project REBORN. So during the course of this project, maybe the goals will change. I will fill you in on that. But these are the areas that I have identified for myself that I want to improve during this project, and then come out on the other side as a improved player.
You don't impress me, so don't test me, nah.
So don't test me, nah. Don't test me.
Yo, you don't impress me, so don't test me, nah.
So don't test me, nah. Don't test me.
Yo, they wouldn't let me. Man's gal wanna come undress me. Swing with the right, but I might go lefty. I made plus with it, so don't test me.
Don't test me.
They wouldn't let me. Man's gal wanna come undress me.